All right, here's what I am asking. I want you to tell me your number 4 then, since you're already out here.
All right. My number 4 from Toronto back in 2010. I've gone for Mista.
Okay.
9 games, 544 minutes. I believe was played at striker. No fee. It was a free transfer, I believe, but 0 goals and 1 assist. Pretty much for me, anytime you're bringing in a designated player striker, I mean, you're bringing him in to get goals. And when he comes in and scores 0 in his time here, automatically going to put him at least in the conversation for worst DPs. And I'm trying to look up, I can't remember if there were like any expectations for him or if he came in at retirement time, but I do think I remember him having like some expectations. He was also included on a number of people's lists. I think he came up at least like 3 times. So I think it was like pretty widely consensus that his time here was definitely anything but good.
Fair enough. Yeah, just under $1 million worth of salary there. So $1 million per goal, $500,000 per goal contribution, $1 million per red card. Fantastic stat. Love that. Yeah, I remember reading him too. He was more of an honorable mention for me. But yeah, Eli, who do you got it for?
Yeah, so this is a guy that is still currently playing with the team that they're on. Or obviously they're playing with the team that they're on. But, so you mentioned this team earlier, how you wanted to give them some slack for their early ones, but they're still an early designated player from this club that has been dragging them down and has been a waste of a designated player spot for at least 3 seasons now. And he's a guy that I believe was signed to be that guy for this club. And I just always knew that he was never truly that guy. And he was a national team player at the time of his signing. He was in some of the best form of his career at the time with his original club and the national team. And just he even scored this club's first ever goal. But, he's just aged terribly, aged like cheese. And I'm talking about Rodolfo Pizarro of Inter Miami. I think, yes, his first season with the club was, somewhat okay. But he was meant to be that true creator, that true playmaker, but he was always supposed to be someone that, or he's always meant to be truly someone that, is a supporting cast. He's never supposed to be the star of his team, but he was placed into Inter Miami to be that guy. So the expectations were high. Honestly, anytime you sign a Mexican international, you're expecting jersey sales to come in and you're expecting them to be, the face of a franchise in a way. And for me, Rodolfo Pizarro has never been that guy. And, think about it. They had to send him out on loan because he was not good enough for them. And then they're bringing him back and we're just counting the days until he's bought out. So they can make room for Busquets or Jordi Alba. And I just think he's been a complete flop for me for Inter Miami. And, just thinking about how good he was heading into his Inter Miami career with Monterrey. And this was when he was a starter for the Mexican national team when, they were still respectable. That's he's my number 4.
Hey, Connor, weren't you the one who picked him as comeback player of the year this year?
Year?
No, that was me. Another one that I've ruined. Yeah, I had massive hopes for him coming back with Josef and Leo in front of him and all these players that can finally put the ball away for him. And he was going to come back from his loan in Mexico and be the guy. That's the reason they let Pozuelo go. That's the reason they did all this. Flop.
So thank you for justifying that. But yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like every year we're just waiting for him to kind of finally take off and be the player we've expected for him. And just every single time it doesn't work out. And I don't know if that's on Miami or if that's on him, or maybe it's a combination of both, but it's been so disappointing because I feel like his potential when he came in was huge. Like he was like, he could have been Miguel Almiron level with that potential that he was coming in with.
Yeah, I mean, he was coming in as like a 26-year-old in his prime. And, if you're the first number 10 in franchise history, that's also a bit of, expectation. But
yeah, he was supposed to be what Lucas Zelarayan was.
Yes.
for Inter Miami. They brought him in from the same league with the same play style, and they thought he was going to come in and blow the league apart. And swing and a miss.
Yeah.
So my number 4, we've talked about him already. I've got Innocent Amaraga at 4.
Fair enough.
So
He's a legend.
So yes, so the San Jose striker, a Swiss national team striker, joining from the Azerbaijan First Division. It's 10 goals in 26 games there. So scouting network, 100% there. Love that. Leave no stone unturned. Signed him to a DP contract worth more than $1.13 million, looking for that last piece to bring them back up the table after finishing second to last in 2014. Big 25-year-old target striker in the Swiss national team at the time. Pair him up next to Wando, let Wando run in behind. He just holds it up, combines with maybe Matias Perez Garcia was there. I don't remember that time period, but anybody that you could combine with just to play him in, and Wando's going to go in and do what Wando does, right? It seemed like a great plan until it wasn't. Innocent, as he likes to be known, 2 years in San Jose, 14 games, 700 minutes, 1 goal, 0 assists. Salary puts him at 17th highest price per game in DP history to this day, which is the top 8%. This isn't in 2007. This is to this day. He is still in the top 8%. $1.13 million per goal is 8th all-time among designated player attackers. In his time with the Quakes, he never made the playoffs, barely made it to the bench, let alone onto the field. 24 total months. Not the best way I would choose to spend $1 million personally. But yeah, that is just swing and a miss for me. I get why you have him a bit lower, but those numbers to me throw him massively up the table for me.
I get it. I just, because of that FIFA card, I'm holding on to that as my reasoning, as my justification for not putting him in my top 10. But no, I get it. He was awful. I mean, it's so funny because I remember playing with him in FIFA, but I don't think I ever remember watching him actually play for San Jose.
Right.
But yeah, I get it.
I will say once again, Adam is punching the air in celebration because once again, somebody's come in and made a decision based off a good FIFA card like he always used to. So he is living the dream right now. He is going to come in and shake your hand. He's going to find you and shake your hand, sir.
Let's go.
Oh man, Connor, I'm sorry. Did you give 4 already? I did. All over the place here.